Hey, welcome back. This is the Part-Time Players Podcast, episode 77. This is the video game podcast where two pals this week discuss the week's video game news. My name is Reese Lagden, and I am joined as always by Bradley Seeley.
Hello, a very stressed Bradley Seeley.
I know we had a lot of technical problems. We're actually recording this an hour later than expected, and was going to have all kinds of more people on, but time and people got things going on, and some people got stuck in traffic. So it's all happening today. It's a smooth production.
I don't know what's the matter with my internet. It's just my Sky, it's just not connecting to the internet. It's like you ain't got no internet, even though we have this on. So that's not connecting. Zoom, that was saying you're not connected. Obviously I was, but it wouldn't connect. And God, it's just a big whole lot of mess going on.
It is. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where kind of, I guess you just take it for granted, but you just expect internet to work. And when it doesn't, it's the most inconvenient, annoying thing ever.
Yeah.
I was kind of lucky because when I was in my flat where there were like new builds, I had like fiber to the premises. So I didn't share my, so it was literally, I had like 75 megabits and I had that solid.
Yeah,
non-stop, no, do you know what I mean? It was just my devices, so I kind of forgot about the internet. It just, everything worked perfectly streaming. It wasn't until I come home and it's like normal broadband, slower, and then you obviously share, and then people come round and it's already in the living room, and I don't know, sometimes things don't connect and don't load, and you're just like, it's
so annoying. Yeah, so at the moment, but we're here.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna have to, after this, I'm gonna have to maybe delete some stuff off my Mac because I think it's struggling. It's just so full and
Fair enough. Anyway, please go like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you like to listen to your podcast. We're on obviously all the podcast platforms, as we always say, and obviously go check us out on social media sites. We haven't been on YouTube recently. I don't know why it's not popping up. I did actually look on Podbean, where we normally do it from, and apparently they only let us do it once a week. And I think one of the weeks I accidentally posted it a little bit early, like on the Sunday evening. So that I think our reset was then. So where I'm now putting it up, I don't know. Basically, I feel like they think I was trying to do it twice in 1 week, because 1 week I did it slightly early by like a couple of hours. So it'll probably go up this week, hopefully. If not, I'm just going to start doing it manually just to avoid that whole thing, because it's a bit of a pain that sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So apologies if you do normally listen to us over there. I'm going to start doing it manually from that one, so that should solve that problem. This week we've got some news stories. Once again, it's a little bit quiet. Obviously, I think it's the calm before the storm, because we're about to enter February and there's a lot of games coming out. I have pre-ordered Witch Queen, Horizon, and Sifu, so I will be playing all those. And my friend who I game share with has also pre-ordered Elden Ring, so I've got quite a few games to play.
Yep.
And I've also picked up a little game this week, which we'll be talking about, and that's Pokemon Legends of Arceus. How you say it? I don't know. That's how I say it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it either.
Yeah. Shall we kick off with the news?
News time.
So the first news story is about the rumored PlayStation competitor for Game Pass. And the rumor, obviously we know it as Project Spartacus at the moment, but apparently it's going to be called PlayStation Infinite or Infinity. It's got basically the Infinity or Infinite logo. It's been leaked. You've seen it. Apparently there's going to be 3 tiers, which obviously we know about. They're supposed to be called Gold, Platinum, and Ultimate. And we've got some details apparently what each tier is going to have. So tier 1, which is going to be Gold, is going to have online multiplayer, PS Plus monthly games, 100 gig cloud storage, share play, exclusive members discount, exclusive game content, PS Plus collection, and game help. So it's basically just what PS Plus is. There's nothing new there. Platinum is basically all that plus a large catalog of PS4 and eventually PS5 games, which is, we can go into what we think that is. And then the Ultimate, which is the biggest, is all that, obviously the large catalog of PS4 and eventually PS5 games, plus game streaming and a library of classic PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games. And it's also going to have extended demos, which I think is quite interesting if that comes back. Don't really get demos anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of those tiers? Do you think that's a legit thing? I think the biggest question marks is the large catalog of PS4 and eventually PS5 games.
Yeah, but there ain't
what do you
really
think?
a large catalogue of PS5 games at the moment, is there? So
No, yeah, eventually, I guess.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah. Yeah, so they're obviously we speculated on the backwards compatibility. So would I go for the ultimate? I don't know, because they're not really, like I said before, like last.
how much is it going to cost?
So what is it? What's PlayStation Plus now? For a year, it's what is it now? 50.
So let's do it monthly because it's easier to break down because they always talk about monthly with Game Pass and stuff. So Game Pass is currently $7.99 and Ultimate is $10.99. PS Plus currently monthly is $6.99 and PS Now is $8.99.
Okay, so I reckon it's going to be around about the fifth. I'd say £15
for the Ultimate.
For the Ultimate, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
about 15 quid. Yeah, I was like I say, would I think if I was going to go for any, maybe I'd go for the Platinum because I'm not really interested in playing like the PlayStation 3. Like the PlayStation 3 games I like and I want to play again. I have on I know I can't play them on my PS5 because I'm backwards and paddle, but am I going to go back to playing Infamous 1 and 2? Probably not. You know what I mean? It's just. Yeah, so I might go. The catalogue of PS4 and PS5 games sounds good. That sounds. I
like the sound of that. I imagine the Platinum, if I was going to guess, probably be around the same price as Ultimate, around £10, I would say.
Yeah,
$9.99 or $10.99 or whatever it is. And they'll probably keep the gold the same price as Plus is now. About £7. That'll be 7, 10, 15. I imagine those will be the price points. And yeah, I'm on the fence as well, whether or not I would either go for Platinum or Ultimate. It also depends on what this catalog is, because I do think it's quite interesting they're saying the large catalog of PS4 games. And that they're probably going to put a lot of the PS4 games available, just put it on PS5 and PS4 as well. I don't know. But I think this sounds legit. I think this is what the tiers will be. I generally do. I would have been a little bit more skeptical if it mentioned about like day one exclusives, because I think that would be the point where it's like, Sony just can't afford to do that. But eventually getting the PS5 games may be what. See, we discussed it last week when we was talking about the impacts of Activision being bought by Microsoft and what Sony's going to do next with this kind of plan. And it's kind of like, if they are going to put PS5 games, how late can it be that people wouldn't wait? Is it got to be a year?
Yeah.
Is it got to be 18 months after release? Like how long after release before they will actually go on the collection, whatever?
I'd say maybe if this was going to be a thing, I reckon they might do. Maybe they'd do like a big high profile game to get people in, and I could see Ratchet and Clank maybe being on there.
Yes,
and
Returnal.
These are the two games that are get it now, get like whatever the Platinum tier, and then you'll have access to Ratchet and Clank. And because just before Christmas, Ratchet and Clank was on some pretty big discounts. I think like you could get it in Tesco at one point, like the physical edition for like 25 quid.
Okay.
Which I went to try and get, and I couldn't get it because there weren't none. But I think they could use that as maybe like the poster boy game of jump in now, grab and play this critically acclaimed PS5 game for last year. So
I think they'll put a lot of their big PS4 games. I think Ghost will go in there, God of War, Last of Us, and like all those will
be on,
because some of them are already on the collection. God of War and Uncharted, and that's already
Days
on the
Gone.
collection.
Is Days Gone on there? I think.
Yes, Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone is on there. He has the guy. That guy hasn't been in the news this week, saying so he's maybe calmed down a little bit now.
Yeah, he hasn't mentioned it. Previous or something.
But yeah, I think it's it's good. Like I say, probably won't go for Platinum Ultimate though, because I just don't care about the old backwards. They won't. But if they had Fallout New Vegas on there, then I would, because I really want to play that again.
Is that not on Plus? I mean, not Game Pass. Sorry.
Yeah, but I want it for the place. I want to get the trophy. I want to try and platinum it. Because
Yeah, see that is what enticed me. Is there some PS3 games where I want to get their trophies? And that was more things that got leaked or some images. There's some someone was searching the PlayStation 5 store and there was PS3 games on there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then someone went through their trophy list and they had like PS3 games and the logo and things. So clearly they might be testing the network.
Yeah.
So this is clearly happening. It's clearly happening to the extent of whether or not it's exactly what we've listed. But I think there's too much speculation at this point for it not to be real. And I would expect it to probably launch, as everybody said, probably in spring.
Yeah, spring. But there was they done it announcement on Twitter last week. I don't know how I pronounce Twitter. Last week saying they're going to do an announcement, but nothing's happened. There was that vague 1, 2, 3 thing. So I don't know.
Which I think is the backwards.
Yeah,
and apparently be PSP as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
PSP. I'm trying to think. Did I have any? The only games I really played on my PSP were like the Grand Theft Auto games, like Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories.
Yeah, they were very good. I like the God of War. Yeah. God of War had some good ones. Goes to Spa.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Played that. Yeah, that was quite good. Yeah, played that. Yeah. That was it really. Didn't really have a lot of big. I played my Vita more. Really, yeah, but it should be good. Should be.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's no Vita games. Why are they putting PSP but no Vita? That's weird, right?
They just hate Vita for some reason.
Yeah, they begrudge it because they never bought it.
Yeah,
it's like, well,
I did. I supported it.
You did. I didn't. It's the only PlayStation console device I didn't buy.
You know what? I had to go shopping yesterday. I went to a little shop called Lidl, and I regret not buying it. But I'll show you what they had that middle aisle, and it's just like random stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a toolbox there, and I was like, oh, I want this toolbox, but I didn't get it. But they also had this. They had them.
Oh, the PlayStation lights.
The PlayStation lights, yeah, and they had an Xbox one as well, which was like it's like the Xbox ball. Yeah,
okay,
pretty cool. And I didn't buy it, but
it would have been a nice placement in the background.
Exactly, yeah. Probably should have bought it, but yeah, I didn't because I was trying to be a responsible adult. And my wife sends me out to. Should we go? I'm going to go shopping. I'll come back. Well, what'd you get? I've got this toolbox, PlayStation lights.
It's like Jack of the Beanstalk, isn't it?
Yeah, a new coffee cup. It's just axle stands in there. They had it's this. I don't know why I'm talking about Lidl, but big up Lidl.
Yeah, well, I tried being responsible. I was close to buying a Series X, and I thought, you know what? No, I kind of just save my money on things because I got some things I want to buy and save, and so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then I looked for an SSD, and they're half price. SSDs are half price at the moment on Amazon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I bought a 1 terabyte SSD. It's apparently supposed to be being delivered in the next hour. So.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about stuff we bought, I did have a big expenditure this week, and I did. I don't know if people won't notice, but no more squeaky chair.
Oh.
Yeah, the squeaky chair has gone. I had to invest in a new chair. So
nice. Nice.
Very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Oh. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't think it. Office chairs are very expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't go down the route of getting a gamer chair because they're ugly and just not comfortable. So, I watched this thing about one of gaming's biggest rip-offs, and it was gamer chairs because they're basically the same chair. They just changed the foam and not the foam, like the logos on them, and And I said, I was thinking, you think. I don't know why I'm going about office chair. Office chair, the people have been trying to perfect the office chair for years because, back support and all that, lumbar. So I thought, just get a nice office chair. So I invested in one of these. So, I think people should give us some free ones though. Yeah.
What, office chairs?
Yeah, get you one. We could be.
I got a nice chair. I bought this not long ago. I like my chair. Yeah, it's comfy.
This is I'll say the name. This is a Steelcase Think version 2. This one. Oh yeah.
All right. If you said so.
Living the high life.
Oh mate.
I'll tell you what. Talking about going back to games, but talking about PlayStation, the Game Pass equivalent. I haven't actually played the PlayStation since I've got the Xbox. So.
Oh really? You fully converted?
It's
Are you saying that you beat Thingy now, right?
I'll beat Halo. Yep, I'll talk about that a little bit later when what we've been playing. But yeah, now I need to go back to Miles Morales. So I want to try and get next year when we get the PlayStation stats. I want to have more than 192 hours on there. So I need to step it up a bit, I think. But
I feel like you've probably already achieved that, right?
Well, the last few weeks I've only been playing Xbox, but yeah, in terms of just playing games, I think every week like you know, last year we done the podcast, I haven't played anything this week, but every week I've been playing. So
yeah, I feel like you did at the beginning. So I'm a little bit still surprised because you were doing like the PS Plus games and you was playing other stuff, and I feel like you was trying to get some platinums as well. You got platinum here and there. I don't know how it's so low. How is that possible?
I don't know. And the weird thing is
because you play offline. Does it not track it when you're offline? Is that why? I don't get how it can be that low.
Yeah, I don't know. But my third most played game was Far Cry 5. And the majority of that I played was in between the Christmas and New Year break. So that was, that I must have put a fair few hours in that.
Yeah, I kind of scared myself because I kind of Googled how many hours are in like a month.
Yeah.
And my hours were like well over a month.
Yeah, it's just...
It was like a month and not quite a month and a half, but yeah, still it was a good length of time that I've been playing the game. Even like Destiny, just by itself, it was over a month.
Well, I was talking to my mate at work and I said Brad Moore he nearly played more on just FIFA than I did for the entire year. So all different games. So it's and I was like, oh, that's what married life does to you. And I was like, I was only married for 1 month out of last year, so it wasn't that crazy. No,
absolutely not.
But I'm going to be getting for Horizon, so obviously, and apparently, like the campaign's supposed to be quite long. So,
and I used to the same length as Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I used to think, I love long games. I love, but now I'm getting to the point where maybe make them a bit shorter so I can, finish them. So
yeah, quality over quantity, definitely, particularly with single player games. I don't mind the online games like the Destinies and things like that where it's just never ending.
Endless,
because it's kind of that is the bug. You're playing with friends and you're trying to get new loot, and it's an endless quest of just better gear, and let's do these activities together because it's enjoyable. But yeah, single player games where I'm playing by myself, I don't like the daunting, oh my god, this is going to be hundreds of hours. It's too much of a commitment for me at the moment. So
no, definitely. Well, talk about new games as well. We've got some new Star Wars games coming up. So let's have a look. So I have it on my notes here. So here we go. Star Wars. So Respawn working on 3 Star Wars games, including Jedi Fallen Order sequel. We kind of knew Jedi Fallen Order 2 was coming out, and it's coming up on more or less every week at the moment. It's so, everyone keeps saying how close it is.
Yep.
So I really need to get, maybe after Morales I'll jump on that because I still haven't played the first one. So
sure.
EA is far from finished with the Star Wars universe. Publisher is working on 3 new Star Wars games, all of which are being overseen in one form or another by developer Respawn Entertainment. The games comprise a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a first-person shooter, and a strategy game. No release dates have been offered for any of the new games. So I'm interested in the first-person shooter. I think that'd be good. As long as it's, I kind of want like a campaign, like along the lines of like Halo, but in Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like kind of like what, I don't know.
Titanfall.
Basically Star Wars Titanfall. Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, and that's probably what you're going to get, right?
Yeah, and you know what? If I get that, I'll be more than happy. Like, if you're playing like a bounty hunter or I don't know, something like that, something that we haven't seen before, because we've seen kind of the Imperials through Battlefield 2, and and we've played like the clone troopers in the original Battleground. Sorry, something we haven't seen would be really good. So looking forward to that. The strategy game, I haven't played a strategy game in ages, but years ago I did. One of the only very few PC games I had was Star Wars Galaxies at War.
Okay, yeah,
and that was
strategy,
pretty damn good. You know what I mean? Unlocking all the different classes. You unlocked bloody when you unlock the Imperial Star Destroyers and that was cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jedi Fallen Order 2. So how do you feel about that? Because you've played it and beat it. You obviously excited for it, but what do you want to, without spoiling it for me, do you want them to change anything, mix it up?
I don't know whether it's hard to say without spoiling the ending. I don't know if they're going to continue with the same protagonist or do a new one. I would almost want them. I really like the game. The least thing I liked about it was the protagonist. I didn't really like, is it Cal or whatever his name was? I felt he was a little bit vanilla because he was ginger.
Yeah.
I liked the game. I liked everything about it, but I didn't really like him. I just thought he was a bit of a boring character. And it's almost, where can they take it next? Because without spoiling it, obviously you already know this, which time period it's set between. Obviously it's set after 3, between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So how can he become that much more powerful and then not be irrelevant to the movies? Because he does face, without spoiling, characters from the films, bigger characters, and it's quite clear of a power difference between him and them.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'll go without spoiling. But if it continued on and he did get more powerful, you're going into the realm of like Unleashed with, because do you know what I mean? In this thing where this is supposed to be canon to the story.
Yeah.
Apparently. So if they want to keep this all canon, it's almost they got to go with a new person at a different time era. And I would probably prefer that, because if you continued with your story, I don't know where it would lead to, really. I don't know. But it's really, really good. I really enjoyed it, but I would go with a new protagonist, and
maybe like have reference to him, reference to the first game. It's and what happened, what transpired. I'm actually quite excited to play it now. I think I will have to jump on that. I know there was some like criticism. Not everyone agreed with it. Some people really liked it. Like the boss system, it was kind of like it's kind of like a Dark Souls game, I heard, but not as bad. Not bad as in quality, I mean bad as in like toughness. Did you like that? Do you want them to keep that?
Yeah, in many respects. It made the combat is a little bit soulsy, because when you wanted to save or you wanted to heal or whatever, they had like the meditation sites, and when you did that, all the enemies respawned basically, which is I think is a feature from Dark Souls and stuff. And the combat was challenging at time, particularly at the beginning when you're supposed to be this Padawan or someone that hasn't really trained, and you're fighting these soldiers, and it does make it a little bit more realistic because it's challenging. You've got to think about parrying, and you got to like time your things right. Ain't just mindless, just tapping a button and you go with your lightsaber. I quite like the thought of you had to think about what you was doing, but it wasn't to the point where it was devastatingly challenging like a Dark Souls where you're just dying over and over again. It was just a bit of a challenge. I like things not to always be easy, and it does get a lot easier as you unlock new skills, and he does almost become a Jedi by the end. I would definitely keep that, because I think that's what makes it unique. I feel like they've got to go either way. You either make it like that, or you go in overpowered and it's almost like a fantasy power thing where you've got loads of enemies and you're like almost like Force Unleashed. I feel like you got to make it like that, which wouldn't work in that era, because how can someone be that powerful? They would have to change the character or keep it like that. But I would personally keep it. And if you turn it on easy, it is not that challenging at all, because I did do that when I wanted to go back for trophies. And the game is like an easy action game. It's only when you have it on like normal or hard that it is more that sort. So because it has got those difficulty options, I would personally keep it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I'll check that out. What's your speculation? What do you want to see in the first person one? I think that neither of us really know much about strategy in it, but I can imagine the strategy game would kind of be maybe set across like all the different generations. So maybe like the prequel, some of the the original, possibly the
it's interesting that I don't know why have they given all these free games to Respawn. It's quite funny that you would have thought Lucasfilm games wouldn't want to have anything to do with EA after the disaster of the last decade, and yet they've agreed to make 3 more games with them. I get why they would continue doing the Star Wars Jedi series, because it was by far the best thing they did in that time period, and they are doing other things like Quantum Dream are doing Eclipse, and we got Massive Entertainment are doing their game, whatever that's going to be. Might be like a Division type thing. That Star Wars. That's the game I'm probably looking forward to the most out of everything. Strategy, I'm not. I did play that game you mentioned, but I'm not really a strategy person. I used to like Civilization as well for a bit, so don't know if it would. I don't know what it's going to be, but the first person shooter. That could be anything, though, couldn't it? They could make could be like a Battlefront type thing again, similar to that. It could be online multiplayer, or it could be a single player thing. I don't know, but I do hope it is like a Titanfall.
Yeah, if it like Titanfall, because Titanfall had a very especially Titanfall 2, a very, very tight single player campaign. And it was the mechanics of it. Like I said to it before, I'm not going to say it because you have played it. There's one gameplay mechanic where the entire game could be focused around that, but it was just on one level. They used it, they chucked it away, and it's so good. So a Star Wars game like that would be good. And then apparently the online, Titanfall 2 online was strong as well, which I never played it, but that's what I'd like. I wouldn't want it. Like I tried to play the campaign of Star Wars Battlegrounds 2, and it just didn't really. Battlefront, sorry, not Battleground. Yeah. Battlefront, it just didn't grab me. Just didn't.
Sure. Really, we queued up at the EGX, didn't we? Do you remember?
Yeah, we did. For like an hour, and I did
an hour just to play the one game on Naboo. Yeah.
And then what did you queued up to play? Assassin's Creed Origins, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I went and queued up to play Far Cry
5.
Yeah.
Which you've only just started playing.
So,
I'm sure they'll do good. They seem to keep hitting the mark. Respawn seems to be one of the crown jewels that EA has at the moment in terms of actually producing really good games. Obviously, in that period of time, also obviously Apex Legends, and that's still ongoing and still very popular. So it's interesting that they're. I looked it up because I was thinking, how they got Apex Legends and working on 3 other games. So that's like 4 games. But apparently they opened a second studio in Vancouver, which is for the development of Apex Legends. So it's got its own separate team. So that kind of makes more sense. But it's exciting future for Star Wars games with all these different games. And the fact that they're going to other publishers as well, I think is also quite important, that we're getting that game from Quantum Dream, and most excitingly, the Massive Entertainment one, because I really hope that's good.
Yeah, there was another.
Do you reckon we'll see more about that this year? Do you reckon? Or maybe not. They've still got Avatar to come out, annoyingly.
Yeah, Avatar. I'm just not interested in that at all, really. But there was another Star Wars strategy game I used to play when I was younger, and it wasn't Empire at War. It was another one. I can't remember what it was called. But that was a strategy game, and you used to have. It might have been Galactic Battlegrounds, maybe, I don't know. But you used to put a cheat code in called Simon Says, and you used to get like an invincible Ewok would just come in and you could just destroy everything. So
invincible Ewok.
It was. You just used to Simon Says invincible Ewok come in, and he just used to just tear it up.
All right.
So
so when you was losing, you just thought, fuck it, destroy him.
Yeah. I was like, that was what. Like, I wasn't even playing online. That was just me against like like on the campaign games. I was like, Simon Says, sending Ewok. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Looking forward to them. Looking forward. Boba Fett, especially this week's episode. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did.
It's making me like Star Wars again, and I think it's
really. You like the Mando episode?
I tell you what, yeah.
With the dark saber.
Yeah,
so good.
Spoilers for episode. Was it 5? If anyone had to listen to it, we're just gonna spoil a little bit. So don't listen if you haven't seen it. It was the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and Boba Fett wasn't even in it. It was the best episode, and I think I like it so much because I'm a sucker for nostalgia, and it doesn't it's not referencing any of the obviously because that happened yet, but it's not referencing any of the sequel stuff that ruined it for me. So just seeing all the like when he she uncovered the ship at first, for some reason I thought it was General Grievous's ship that was in episode 3 that Obi-Wan flew off in.
Yeah.
I thought it was that, and then when they showed it was the M1 Starfighter, like Naboo
Yeah,
Starfighter,
the
I was like,
Naboo. Yeah,
this is cool. This is
yeah. I
really
thought
cool.
it was cool. Yeah, I noticed it because of the shape of like the
And
wings and stuff. It was Naboo.
when he was flying through the canyon, Beggar's Canyon, and it like sounded like, he's kind of like because that's where all the pod racing scene was from episode 1, and I was just
Yeah,
big. Yeah, I was big
yeah. Do you know
nerd.
there's a little droid in it? The scanning droid is the
I've
one
done that,
from
yeah, and
Star Wars Jedi.
is it just that make, or is it actually that droid? If it's just
Yeah,
that
the
make, that
BB.
mod,
I don't know.
BB.
He's still a
Yeah,
companion at the end of the
yeah.
game, so I don't know.
But I noticed that. Yeah, I googled that. But it's so good. The only thing I did find, I think it's impractical, because I would have thought he needed a bigger ship because he's a bounty hunter and he has to bring him in alive. Like,
Yeah.
unless because it doesn't have an astromech droid, maybe that you can just shove someone in that compartment. Maybe,
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I really like because I think they were going to do it, but then because of all the issues with the woman that was in Mando, I don't know if they're still doing it or she's going to get her own show. I really like when the X-Men, like they're almost the police cops.
Yeah, the X-wing. Yeah,
Yeah, they're like, oh, do you want to fill in all the paperwork? And I don't know, I just like that. I would love a show just with X-wing cops just go around.
I think they're cancelling it because it was Rangers of the New Republic. I think they're cancelling it. So.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But that episode, that was the best episode of Boba Fett, and like I say, it wasn't even a.
Star Wars TV is bringing back the love for Star Wars at the moment, and do you know what? My anticipation for Obi-Wan, I can't wait for that show. It's gonna be good. I hope it's good anyway.
Yeah, no, I hope it's good, but yeah,
it's gonna be good. Ian McGregor's back. Older Obi-Wan's probably gonna be great with his beard and that. We're looking over Luke and Tatooine, and he's probably gonna fight that Wookiee and stuff.
Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, that's it. And Darth Vader's back and things. Yeah, no, it's gonna be good. It's good. Just the nostalgia of just having all that back, and if they fight and stuff at the end.
Definitely. But this week's episode, that could have been episode 1 of series 3 of Mandalorian. That could have.
You're setting it up so you know where it was now. You know where it's going.
So it's good episend.
It was fantastic. I agree. It was good.
Back to news. Have we only got one more?
Yeah, Elden Ring. Just general, I know obviously you're not going to be playing it, but I thought it was quite interesting. So From Software, one of the producers, basically had an interview. Obviously, we're coming up to the game's release very, very soon. I believe it comes out on the 25th of Feb. I might be wrong, but it has gone gold. Another game that's gone gold this week was Horizon. So both those games have gone gold this week, so no delays for those, which is very good news. So basically, they said they were trying to find the right balance to reduce player stress, because I can understand that every 5 seconds that you come across a new enemy, if they're like a boss level difficulty, people might be a little bit put off and they didn't want to have that strain and stress. So what they've tried to do is make it a little bit more balanced, because I guess they had a couple of choices: either put less enemies in the world, but the world will probably seem a little bit empty, or make them not as difficult. And I think they went with making them a little bit less difficult. Also, the ability to be able to summon a horse now and things like that. I don't think enemies attack you while you do that, and you can travel along the world and stuff. And there's a day and night cycle as well, so depending on the time of day, there's less enemies. And also they've also introduced a respawn, so you can now respawn near the last place you died. So they've clearly tweaked and thought about the difficulties of stuff, but obviously still sure the bosses and everything like that are going to be really, really tough. Which kind of begs the question what we keep asking. Obviously they're edging closer as these kind of games come more mainstream and have bigger budgets. This clearly has a bigger budget than anything they've ever done before, so you think they want to sell more copies. So why would you not make it more accessible to people by adding that easier mode so people can play it? I've
seen like the story trailer, and the story looks really good.
The
story looks brilliant, and it maybe to the point where I'd watch someone, watch a playthrough, because I kind of want to, know what happens. But I just get turned off by the difficulty. I know people are like, not a bloody gamer then. You can't do it. I just, like we say, I proved with my stats, I'm a part-time player. I have a limited amount of time I can play, And when I do play, I want to have fun. This is why I've said before, I will knock it down to easy. I don't care because I want to know what's going on in the story. I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Playing a game like that, getting killed over and over again, and you have to get good, as they say, but don't have time. So if they made it more accessible, baby mode, it's like the Wolfenstein games. When you put it on the easiest difficulty on them, it had like BJ Blazkowicz with like a little baby hat on a dummy and like saying, like baby difficulty basically. And I was like, yeah, cool, because I just want to run around shooting people and finish the game to see what happens. So it makes sense for them to do it. And like you say, you don't have to. You don't have to. If you're a diehard person, a fan who loves these games, you don't have to play on easy mode. Just that would be there. That the original one would still be there in all its glory. It's just for people like me and you who just ain't good at them, so we can still play. But then you think, should they change it for us? Like if they don't, I don't care. No, but people like us.
I think there should be an easy mode.
At
really,
the end of the day,
you've got two options, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's a company and he wants to make money. So
yeah.
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah, I don't understand why there would be a need to keep it and keep it away from potential buyers just by adding this one little extra mode. Doesn't affect other players. I'm sure there'll be some whingy people because people like to whinge. There's a lot of babies on the internet. It was like, well, people are whinging about the floor increasing for Destiny to 1350 because all the people that have grinded to that level are like, oh, why is other people now going to be in the same level with me at the Witch Queen? It's like, why do you care? Why does it affect you? Because someone else like you who hasn't really played it, so you will be the same level as me if you jumped on the day.
Smashed it. You know
what I mean? Like, I put in 800 hours, you put hardly any hours, and yet we're going to be on the same level. So then people get upset about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, good. Yeah. You want more people to join, don't you? So that's how I see it. Anyway, it doesn't affect me, but anyway, I don't get the whole gatekeeping with it. You might as well just make it more accessible. More people want to play it. This is the most anticipated game of the year, despite Zelda, God of War, Horizon, and all the other rumored games that are coming out this year. And yet this is still supposed to be the most. There's so much hype about it. They would sell so many more copies if you took away that fear that there was an easy mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not buying it, but I definitely would have if that was included. I'm going to play it because my friend's into it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have bought it just because of that.
No, definitely not. No. Yeah. But like you say, a lot of people find a lot of stuff to complain about online. So
yeah,
I mean, that's that. I think that's the news.
That is the news for this week. Yeah, a little bit of a light week, but
we've covered the most important stuff as always. So So you're going to be talking about Pokemon. You picked it up. You said you weren't going to because you don't play your Switch, and then get text messages saying I bought it. Do you like it? Is it good?
To be fair, I was on the fence. I was always going to buy this game. It wasn't until recently I thought, after I bought the last Pokemon, I was like, do you know what? Why am I going to even pick this up, even if it is good? Because I don't ever play my Switch. But then I thought about it, and I thought, do you know what? If it reviews well, because I am interested in playing Pokemon or a good open world game on the Switch.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the games, not me. Do you know what I mean? It's just the games that are not gripping me. So I thought if it reviews well, which it has, I thought let's just give it a go. Let's give it a go. And I did, and I don't regret getting it. It's been good. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it hits the promise of what we thought it was going to be. Is it the end all bend all, like the greatest RPG ever? No. And I think there's a lot of things it needs to improve on or add in the future games. And I'll go into that in a sec. But I definitely think this is the future of Pokemon as a series of gaming. I think this will eventually become the main kind of, rather than be like I don't know what you can call it, the main games going forward, and the other ones will die out. I'm sure it'll just be a little side thing for the time being, but I think eventually this will be the main series moving forward, just because I think this is the evolution that this series desperately needs. It's, although it got compared to Breath of the Wild, I'd say it's more closer to Monster Hunter than any other game I've ever played.
Okay.
it's not fully open world, it's almost semi-open world. You have your hometown base where you have shops and you pick up missions and you get side quests there and things like that, and you have like a ranking system. You're a part of this research team, and you're going out exploring and trying to find Pokemon to get more research on them, and you're trying to build a portfolio, and you've got your Pokedex and stuff like that. The different shops, you can buy things. You can buy like lures and food to attract Pokemon and calm them down if they're aggressive, and Pokeballs and different things, and you can change your outfits and stuff. And then there's like each area. I think there's like 6 different areas. I think it's 6 actually. I'm still on the first one. I'm still very early in. And each area basically has its detailed listed of like the Pokemon you can find in that area and stuff like that. And once you do catch them, there's kind of different things you can do. So obviously they're very large open world areas. So it does feel like an open world game. And you basically go around searching for different Pokemon, depending on whether or not they're aggressive. You might have to battle them to catch them. Some you can just bribe them with food. Some you can just throw a Pokeball at it and it will work. And you just build up your profile. Obviously you can catch more than one type, and there's like a Pokedex of like ranking of your research. And the more times you use your Pokemon, like you have to do certain types of moves with it, and then it will like level up, and you get XP depending on which one you use. And if you catch the same type of Pokemon, that Pokemon gets XP and stuff. So I feel like they've added an extra level of depth than what I've played the previous games. Same with the combat. There seemed to be like an extra level of depth. There seemed to be more strategy. You need to think about what you're doing a little bit more. It's still quite easy, I have to admit. It's a little bit too easy, which I think the other games have been super easy. But this is a little bit more
Sword
easy.
And Shield was far too easy. It was.
So this one is supposed to be more difficult. And I've listened to a few reviews, and people said once you beat the campaign, there's some more missions, and that's when it gets actually quite challenging. They said it was actually challenging. And you had to really think about the battles and stuff. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, I suppose, if you're a serious player or whatever. But yeah, it's more of a expedition and catch 'em all type game. There isn't obviously any gyms. There's no real tournaments of battles. Obviously you can battle people to get XP. You can obviously battle wild Pokemon as well. So there is all that said in it, but there is no gyms and things like that, which is a little bit of a shame, and I'm sure they will add in future versions.
That's one I do like, battling trainers and gyms and saying going to Pokemon League and that. But so do you still have your set of 6? Can you still have or not really? You just kind of how do you have a team of Pokemon or not?
So when you collect them, I don't know what the limit is. So, and you know a lot more about Pokemon than I do. So before, was the limit 6?
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a limit. You kind of just when you go into your Pokedex, you can kind of go into your Pokedex, because I'm on it now, and you open it up, and on the side you basically have your list of Pokemon, and these are like the little tasks of things you need to do.
Okay.
And you've got loads of them. And then you go to different tabs, and it gives you like your profile, what they are and what you can do. And that's to level them up and how to evolve them and stuff. And you go into the menu and you can customize like their skill sets and powers that they have. Well, not powers, but their skill sets and stuff.
So this is kind of, because like in the cartoon you used to have Pokemon like trainers, you had breeders, you had I don't know what Brock was in the cartoon, but yeah, I always thought it would be good to have games where you weren't, although I love being a Pokemon trainer and battling, I always thought it would be interesting to play one of the other like careers in the Pokemon universe. And this kind of seems what it is. Like you're doing it just for research. Where the other one was the Pokedex was a byproduct of you catching them and getting your team to battle, and beat the Elite Four. This is kind of like you're just catching them and using certain things just to research them. So
exactly. Yeah, you have like your items and stuff. It's more of like an RPG, and you have your list of Pokemon, and then. Like I started with Cyndaquil. He was my starter.
I would have. I think that's what I'd start with when I get it, to be honest.
And you just have his profile and what he likes to eat, so you can like lure him, and has his profile and like his stats and stuff. And it's a lot more RPG now in terms of although it's always been RPG, and yes, your skilled set, and obviously you're going to add and change the moves that they can do and things, and there's a little bit more strategy to it. And no, I'm thoroughly enjoying it at the moment. And obviously, you just got the open world Pokemon.
Yeah,
you
no,
can
that's
just go
really
around
cool.
and stuff, and
And
obviously it looks a lot like Breath of the Wild, but yeah, it's not
yeah,
fully like open world like Breath of the Wild. You have your little different areas.
yeah, it's kind of like Sword and Shield. It was like the work you couldn't see wild Pokemon wandering around all the time. I can't remember what that was called, but there were certain zones where you walked in, and sorry, good. You'd see like there's a Snorlax bowling around, and a Gyarados in the lake, and that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another thing they done in Sword and Shield I thought was pretty good. You could catch so if you went on like a sun, like when if it was thunder and lightning, you catch Jolteon. If you went when it was snowing, you will see Glaceon, and like a summer day, there was either Leafeon, like a leaf one. But yeah, it does look really good. I don't know. I haven't picked it up yet. I probably will. Cause I do like Pokemon. I haven't played my Switch in.
Yeah, I think this is a must play if you like Pokemon. This is like I'm not going to say this is the game you've been dreaming of, because I think that will probably might be in the next one or the one after that when they start adding. Because how they sets it up, not to spoil, you come through like a portal. You're not from this era. You got modern day clothes and you have a mobile phone and stuff like that. So I think that's how they're gonna set it up, that you go to each era with each series, or each game. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's clearly set up that there will be future ones, and you'll go through future different eras. Obviously, you're starting right in the past, and imagine as time will go on, as the more future, that's when gyms will be introduced and stuff.
There's the best Pokemon game they've done is still, for me, in my opinion, is Gold and Silver. Because you could just like it doesn't really cool, like the graphics on it does look a lot like Breath of the Wild.
You can throw the Pokeball like that, and if you hold that, you can see the little icon on the top, whether or not they're going to attack or they're passive or whatever. And if they're red, you might have to like battle them or something like that. And you have your little menu down the bottom there. And you switch, and that's when you can get your Pokemon up and stuff like that, and you can throw them into battle and things. So
for some reason, I thought you had the multicolored Switch.
No, I've got the grey one.
Yeah, that's what I've got. But yeah, Gold and Silver was for me best one. You had all the 100 new Pokemon. Some of them are really cool. Some are iconic ones, and then you do Johto. You done it, you smashed it, big Elite Four, and they're like, oh, you can go to Kanto now. And you go into Kanto and you fight the gyms over there again, like Brock, and I think Gary is like the gym leader of the Vermilion City Gym. And it's just good. It's just good. And then kind of like the end boss fight was you fought the guy, like the player from Red and Blue. For me, they need to do that. Like, it would be good if you could go to like Kanto, then into Johto, and into Sinnoh, and the Orange Islands. I just think that
because you are in Sinnoh, right? But it's not called that because it's in the past. Yeah. So I imagine that is the future. Like, these open areas will eventually be the names that you like and love, and I imagine it'll probably be on the Switch 2 time it comes out again, and probably maybe need a more powerful machine. But you can see this is the start of that. Yeah, it's quite clear. They just will add on to it, and it's I think it's a very, very good start, and it's absolute must buy if you're a Pokemon fan anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick it up. I nearly pre-ordered it a few weeks ago. I just didn't get around to it. I think it's when I bought the Xbox, and I was kind of like, it's I'll wait until I get the.
Nintendo sent me this thing when I ordered it.
No, we got a little. Is it a little? Oh no, that was a Pearl Diamond. Oh, what is it? Oh, okay. What is it?
Something like a poster and.
Oh, you know what I'd do with that? I'd frame it up, bruv. Put that on and stickers. Is that Growlithe? Is that a Sinnoh Growlithe? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I was looking at which ones because that's the Mario. I wanted Charizard, but I don't think he's in this, is he? Unfortunately.
No, I don't know. Maybe Charizard's usually in every game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought, I can't wait to get like a Charizard. I think that Charizard is my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. You know what my favorite Pokemon is?
What?
Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in it either. Don't know if they're in it.
I like Bulbasaur, but I think Bulbasaur he gets underrepresented But yeah, and I know you like Kinglo as well. Yeah, I don't know why. I just Kinglo's.
But no, that is my early impressions. Sorry if I didn't describe that very well when I was showing Brad the screen. I don't know if that's good for the listeners at home, but yeah. If you like Pokemon, you'll like it. If you don't, then maybe not.
Yeah, don't pick it up.
Yeah, I don't think it's one of those games where it's like the novelty is only that it's Pokemon, and if it wasn't Pokemon, would it be good? I still think it would be good, an enjoyable game. I think there's enough there. I think they're like one of the games I played before, where it was just like, if you're not a fan of this, you're probably not going to like it because it's not a very good game. It's just a novelty that you like it. I don't think this is it. It is actually a good game. It's just Pokemon as well. So if you like it, you're definitely going to like it. I think.
I do love Pokemon. Yeah. No, I'm going to look into that. Yeah, that's great. So if we go on to what we've been playing, so I'll give my thoughts of. Well, I've been playing Halo Infinite. Finished the campaign. There was it's pretty good. Some of the new features I like. Some of them I'm not so keen on. So I'm going to try not to spoil it, but if you haven't played, be careful. I don't like they've introduced kind of like bosses, and I don't really like that. I don't know why they've got bosses in it.
Okay.
I'm not a massive fan of boss fights anyway. In certain games like God of War, I like, it's good because there's a dragon. That's, or when you're fighting Zeus, like the old God of War games.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But in a Halo game, I don't know if they I don't know, just if they like, I don't think they fit, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So that was one of the bits I didn't like. Another thing I didn't like, they kind of like, I think it's because in the original games, when you had access to the vehicles, it was a bit of a set piece, really. Like the Warthog, you didn't get to have it all the time, but because this is like an open world game and you can just get access to like a Banshee or like the UNSC flying craft called a Wasp at any time, I think they kind of scaled down their abilities a bit. They don't seem to pack as much of a punch, and the Warthog, I don't know, when you're controlling it, it feels like it kind of feels to me like it's a bit of like a helium balloon trying to chuck it around places. It's very light. Because the Banshee in the old games, they used to have like the plasma like cannons, and you had a fuel rod gun, so you could like blow stuff up. That isn't on this.
All right.
But I think it's because they don't want to make it too easy, because you couldn't, like I say, it's more of an open world. The open world system, it's okay, but like we said, there's only one biome, and it was those two. There's outside tree, like the foresty area, or inside this grey corridors. That is it. That is the that's basically what it is. But the gameplay itself is really good. Like the shooting mechanics, the different guns they introduced, some of them are really cool. I preferred using like the human guns, but you kind of have to use anything you got at hand because you'd obviously run out of bullets, and then so you just pick up whatever. So that was really good. I like the fact that it was focusing more on Master Chief. I kind of understand more of the story now, and I really hope they do some single player DLC because it ends in a way where you need more story. And then there's like certain characters that was in Halo 5 that was on the ship before it got attacked that you don't know anything like where they are, what happened to them. You can find audio logs and it kind of, you get a bit of backstory. But overall, for 343 Halo games, it's really good. It makes you feel a bit like like a tough guy playing as Master Chief again, because you're Master Chief, you're just going out, you're just killing aliens indiscriminately and being a tough guy. So
badass.
Badass. We can't really, I was gonna say that, but we can't really get off because we'd have to say badass because that is I tell you what, is a bloody badass. And we just can't put it off, I don't think. But
it doesn't have the same ring, does it?
Don't know. It's really good, and the fact that it's on Game Pass, and if you've got Game Pass, you can just go in and jump on. Still haven't played the online side of it, but just going by the campaign, it's really enjoyable. Like I say, finish that. So now I will go back to my PlayStation and try and finish Spider-Man. But yeah, Halo. Definitely worth it. It's kind of back to form. and yeah, it's got just not, you know, you go to certain bits of the Halo ring and they start playing the music from Halo 1. So yeah, it's a bit like nostalgia as well.
Sure, but that's cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. So yeah, really enjoyed
Okay.
it.
No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad it's good. It's interesting
Yeah.
that you said you didn't like the bosses. It's probably because of the type of game it is, and it is ongoing.
Yeah.
And each DLC that it adds, it'll probably be some kind of boss.
Mm.
So I'd assume that you don't like it in Halo, that the previous games didn't have bosses.
They had like not bosses like this. So these bosses like obviously got a health and a shield meter, and they like played up to be, you know, like bosses. The original Halo 3 kind of had, so like well, Halo 2 and 3 you killed the prophets, but it wasn't like a set piece boss, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
There's a bit where you have to, like in Halo 2 right at the beginning, you have to kill a scarab. Right? It's like this big like mech walker thing that the Covenant have. I suppose you could say that was a boss, but it was more, it was never tied up to be, oh, this is, you know, like there's an elite in Halo Infinite and he's like a Spartan killer, and yeah, it like this health and shield meter there, and the last boss was annoying because it was zipping around all over the show and you couldn't really hit it. I don't know, yeah, there was bosses type enemies in the original games, but they wasn't, yeah, like set piece
like set piece like how they are in this, yeah. Because is it like dungeons type thing where you go through and then obviously you have the boss at the end? Is that kind of how it
so
is?
It's kind of like, yeah, you start a mission and you go into like a forerunner facility somewhere on the ring, and then yeah, you get to the end. Like the last mission, you had to fight the last Spartan killer. You had to kill him. Then you had to fight like the leader of the brutes, Escharum.
Sure.
And then the end of that, there's another boss that you have, can't remember what it was called. You have to fight that, and then that's kind of like the campaign over. But in the like in between, you've got like, you know, other Spartan killers, and you fight them, and so there's a few mix around. But yeah, it's like after something happens, then it's like now it's the boss battle. So
okay,
there was one good thing, like on the open world map, you had to unlock forward operating bases, so there was them dotted around the base, and the more of them you unlocked, the more of them you captured. You unlock weapons, more vehicles, different variants of weapons. There's also like high value targets. So again, cool. If you kill the high value targets, you get the variations of Covenant weapons. There's like human fire teams that need help, so you go them, and outposts. So it's kind of like it's got all the open world stuff, and some of them I liked. Some of them are a bit, oh, this is a fuel facility, and then the next outpost further on the island, it's like, oh, this is another fuel facility. It's like, okay, not much, you know. And they kind of all played out the same.
Okay.
Expose something, blow it up, and then kill the Covenant, and then leave. That was okay. It's good.
Would you play a game once multiplayer comes in like March, April, whenever season 2 starts?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll play again. I know that's been a big thing people want. People want level replay. So of all our Halos before, you can go into the title menu, select a level, and just replay it. So because the Halo games have something called skulls, so you put it on and it does, like, it's just, you know, gameplay multipliers. So like these skulls, if you activate them, they just change the gameplay in various different ways. So you used to be able to activate a skull and go play through, you know, a certain mission and do it, but this doesn't have mission select. So basically, if you go to an area where there is a skull, you miss it, you can't go back to collect it or, you know, turn it on and whatnot. So I think they'll end up adding level select because a lot of people are screaming out for it. But in terms of co-op, maybe. I played the others on co-op before, on legendary difficulty, because it's just easier to do it with someone else as well. But at the minute, I'm haloed out. I think I need to play something a little bit different. So
apparently season 2 is going to introduce co-op campaign, season 2 battle pass, which you can purchase with in-game credits. I'm sure you know what they are more than me. Previous leaks suggest that there will be new content, new maps, new and returning game modes, free events, new guns, and more.
Okay, cool.
There's going to be new multiplayer maps also that are listed here. There's about 5 new multiplayer maps as well. So that's apparently what's coming in season 2.
Sweet, yeah. So yeah, I'd like to be more focused on single player content, like storyline content. But
yeah, it'd be good if they bring in like a new map and stuff, new location.
Different location. Because you was only on one like small section of the Halo ring. So if they could open it up and like, this bit's like a snow section, or this bit's like I don't know, desert, whatever.
I think that's how it's going to be, isn't it? Just going to keep expanding with each season. So
that'd be pretty cool. So really good.
Yeah, if I ever do get an Xbox one day, which more and more every day it seems more likely, I will obviously, that will be one of the first games I try because Power Game Pass has access to everything.
But good. Gets the
player of PlayStation Infinite, which soon. People will be saying that soon about that.
But that was that's all I've been playing. Just finished that yesterday afternoon. So
nice. Well, I haven't been playing anything else other than Pokemon and Destiny. But that's
getting ready for the Witch Queen.
We're just not banking, but sandbagging and storing bounties ready for the next season. Because they roll over to the next. So I don't need any more XP or do any more levels now because I'm already way over anything you need to be. So whenever you do any activities and you normally take the bounties, you just store them. And you just, as soon as Witch Queen launches, you just collect them all, bang, and you get all the XP. And so you can get like your XP and your season pass can be like level like 15 or 20 immediately. So you unlock loads of like resources and all that stuff. And it gives you a head start. I think everybody does it. That's
actually quite a good idea. And I know how bounties work now because I played it for a little bit last year. So
exactly, exactly. So been doing that. Been trying to we're doing some more raids lately because I haven't been doing raids lately, but been enjoyable.
Pretty cool, sweet. But I think
time is running out for you to jump in for Forsaken.
I know. I was thinking that earlier on. That I haven't.
You could do a dungeon. So you got access to a dungeon now. Forsaken's got the first dungeon that was in Destiny.
The last dungeon I done with you and Brad was I just did not know what was going on, and I didn't contribute.
What did you do? Oh, the Prophecy. Yeah. That one's a little bit more. I don't know that one. That might be my least favorite. My favorite is the Shattered Throne, and that is from Forsaken that you can access now.
I've got what 20 seconds, 20
it's brilliant. You go into like the Ascendant Plane with all the Taken, and you're in like this castle. It's incredible.
I might do that then. Maybe even if I just do that.
What, just that?
I
don't know if you got to do a little bit of the campaign first to unlock it. I'm not sure.
It's
the same as the Last Wish raid. That's my favorite raid, and that's also the same from Forsaken. But that is by far the hardest and longest raid. So I wouldn't recommend that.
I say it all the time, but I'll try and get around to it.
The dungeon though, if log it on, if you've got access to it, then we'll do it.
Cool. Sweet. I think I was going to say Dying Light 2 comes out this week on the 4th. I'm not going to be picking it up, but we'll talk about that next week, like the reviews, like its scores, if it's scoring good.
And also Sifu, I'll be playing that. When does that come out?
Sifu. So Reese is going to have like hands on, and then a couple of weeks after that, it's going to be Horizon. So we'll both. I'll try and pick that up day one, and play that like the day before we do the pod. If we try and get a few hours in.
I'll put it in mind. I'll be playing it on the 18th without doubt.
So it's good. All good.
Well, I think that's it for the podcast this week. Thanks for listening. Obviously, go like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you do listen to it. And as always, check us out on social media, Instagram, Twitter, wherever.
You know what? I'd love if someone left us a nice 5-star review and a
on
comment
iTunes,
or Spotify, wherever you listen. I'd love it. That would mean more to me than people could know because I'm quite sad. So like Ray says, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and we're on all the podcast platforms. We're on most of them. We're on Podbean, Stitcher, Apple, Spotify, Amazon. We're all over there.
We're all over the place, mate. We're everywhere. We're spread all over the internet.
And if you want us to you know, if you have any suggestions or whatever, yeah, get in touch. We haven't plugged the email in a while. It's ptplazpod@gmail.com. Send anything over there, or like DM us on our Insta or our social media. Doesn't, yeah, either one. Suggestions or questions and whatever. Just say hello. You know,
be nice. If you want.
Yeah, if you want, yeah. We can't make you do it, but if I could, I would. So, I'm just saying.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, until next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.